Well, a very warm welcome to you all. Welcome, race fans. Welcome, all the teams joining us to enjoy the racing today. We're heading out to China for round 3 of the Crown E-League Group 2 series. Two more rounds in the groups. Two more rounds in the group stage. I forget, excuse me. But we're deciding effectively who is going to go through to through to the final rounds. And this is how the standings look right now. IRT head the standings on 165 from QRT. Late joiners to the championship, followed by Evora, then GS Gaming and Esports Wales at the foot of the standings so far. Let's get straight into the pit lane though, because the action has started already, I believe. And there you can see typically murky and somewhat overcast day in the Shanghai circuit, but hopefully that won't dampen our enthusiasm. Looks like we're going to have a dry race. And welcome to Simon and to Resify, who join us in the live chat. If you're here to support your team, tell me who you are, tell me what you're up to, and who you're supporting specifically. I think Boomji is the guy out there on track in the IRT colour scheme. I had to miss a round 2, which is why I'm a little bit flummoxed by the current situation. But I'm back and I should be here for the rest of the championship. I'm going solo tonight though, unfortunately. It's early on in the year, in the racing season. Everybody's getting back into whatever rhythm they're used to, and I think it's been a bit difficult to get everybody together. I hope you're going to enjoy our racing tonight. Hi to Trench, and as he says, yeah, only 3 Evora drivers are actually in position right now, but hopefully we will get the rest of the team joining us. As Boonty is just finishing off his warm-up lap, about to head out there onto the long straightaway. Stephen's here. Simon says he's here to watch his guys win. Well, time will tell. Time will tell. As you say, IRT is your team, and I know that they're a popular team and well represented by their fellow drivers and engineers tuning in for the session. Short qualifying course, so just 18 minutes, some of which have already gone already. But Boomyi, the first guy out there on track and the first guy to attack the lap of China. Not a track we see a great deal of racing on. Now we're into turn 1. Which quickly becomes turn 2. Blink and you miss it before they turn left into turn 3 in the dip, and then bring the car quickly over to the right hand side through turn 4, and now the tiny kink that's turn 5, and then the first major overtaking opportunity into turn 6 hairpin. Looking like the car is relatively well hooked up. Medium tyres, a selection for Boomji, which is a good option for an early banker. Almost flat into turn 7, definitely not flat in turn 8, and then a double left-hander of turns 9, followed by turn 10, and then a little straight before we head into the emptiest stadium in F1 racing at the end of the track here, the far west of the track, I believe. Looks like we're just enjoying who's the roster that have been selected for today's race. Looks like Boomty's got a great IRT slipstream here, and he gets out of the way. He streaks down into the final hairpin of the track. Turn 14, 15 follows the traction zone, and then we just have turn 16, very fast corner, very easy to invalidate on the outside of that turn, but it's relatively within the margins of the track limits, and it's a 133.072 for Boomji. He goes first, of course. Second is Hotaru in the very nice Evora colour scheme there. Then we get a new one for Edu. Edu in the black GS colour scheme, quickly beaten by Nexium there as his teammate. Can't quite see his time. It's a 31.6 on soft tyres, so quite a difference there with the difference in tyre selection at the front. A good second faster than his teammate. Who else have we got finishing their lap right now? Looks like Donate. If I'm pronouncing anybody's name wrong, tell me, of course. Sometimes I'm new to some of these drivers, and if I am pronouncing something wrong, do inform me, of course. I hate to do that, and especially if I'm incorrectly gendering somebody. Nexium goes faster still, and Old School for the Esports Wales group goes in a 32.078, but Donate heading down to the hairpin here. And just finishing off his lap. Just a tiny bit of overspeed there through the final corner, and it's way off. Of course, it's a warm-up lap. It's a 1:55 overall. Who else have we got actually progressing through a lap? I can see one of the Evora team just finishing their lap, but no joy as to whether they're actually on it. Let's follow Gelato though. JT Gelato for Evora. His Halo saying game over. I hope it's not game over. Resify says Sieb's going to get the pole today. Well, Sieb's currently P3, and IRT represented well on the leaderboard of drivers who have actually set a time so far. Nexium leads from old school. Sieb, Pyro, Edu, Boomyi, Camrals, Hitaru, Mentos. Wow. Marislan? Wow, that's a difficult one. Maro and Donate with Gelato for Evora just finishing his lap now. Stayed valid. Staying current here on the time. So Nathan says it's Boomye. All right, I'll try and remember that. Thanks, Nathan. Good stuff. Excellent stuff. And Gelato just logging a slow lap there at 34.0. I don't think he wants to start on those soft tyres. I think it was a bit quicker than he wanted to be. So who have we got actually attacking a lap right now? Welsh Maldonado. He's on one. And the Esports Wales team in orange and grey trim. and I'm told Bump G is Bump G from Resify. Who am I supposed to believe here? Am I supposed to believe Resify or Nathan for the pronunciation? Well, Maldonado then finishing this up. Yeah, thanks for that Resify, AJ Wuhan. I had a good feeling about that one. It's the QRT driver Marislan that I'm struggling with most of all right now. But Maldonado goes across the line at 39.175, not particularly quick. Pompeo in this GS gaming livery into sector 2 now. Just fighting the car a bit here on the soft tyres. Got outlaps from two of the front runners at the moment. Nexium and Old School, both out there well in front. Nexium particularly, 31.6. It's his best time so far. Maldonado's retired from the session on a 39.175, so we'll be starting pretty close to the back, not all the way, because we're missing a driver so far. So unless that driver joins us, Welsh Maldonado is certainly on the back row, I think, at this point. I think that might have been an accident. Marlon, Nathan says, okay, cheers. I'll try and say Marlon. It's a difficult game attack to go with. Pompeo, though, new pole position at 31.294, and that's a nice time indeed. Let's follow with Nexium, though, who is going quicker than he's been before. Nearly 2/10 in this particular lap. Matching his halo sticker with his gloves, which is a choice. New purple middle sector, 0.380 quicker than he's been before. This lap looking good so far for Nexium. Down into the hairpin then. Lap looking good so far. One major corner left to go. Navigating that one pretty safely and up to the line then. It's a new pole position, 1:30.734, and that's how it's done from Nexium, showing the way with a brilliant, brilliant time indeed. Old School is out there and finishing off a lap, threading the needle between the white lines of the track, and he's faster still, but not quick enough to get back on the front row. It's a 31.863 for Old School. Again, the soft tyres, and I wonder if teams are going to be alternating their strategies, trying to maximize the chance that one of them is on the right strategy. Let's wait and see how this one works out as we go down the back straight with Boumpier. Nexium leads from Pompeo, making a GS Gaming front row so far. Donate's up there in fourth as well, and between them Old School, then AG Wuhan and Stephen Pyro for IRT all together, and Edu and Boumpier currently ninth, but now third. It's the 31.635 for Boumpier, and good time indeed with 6.5 minutes to run in this session. Pyro, usually good value for a lap time. It's a 32.287, his fastest, but he's attacking the lap right now in fresh, soft tyres. And a wait to it. The time by Donate looking good at the moment. Now on medium tyres, a 32.195. I think particularly special in sector 1 for Pyro here. Tricky turns 9 and 10, takes that very smoothly. Great steering angle going through there, and he crosses the sector beam. It's a 9/10 of a second improvement. Still not good enough for a purple sector, showing you just how quick the front guys are driving. Boumpier will be reluctant to give a tow here. No, he won't. He'll be very happy to give a tow, I should say. Sorry, to Pyro. Boumpier then moves aside smoothly, leaves Pyro on the racing line, and this one could see his teammate help him towards the front. One more keener to go. Cross the yellow curb nicely within track limits, and to the line then for Pyro. It's a P2, 1:31.023. I think that tow helped a lot, but his first two sectors he banked some very, very good pace indeed before that, so congrats to Pyro. Can't touch Nexium just yet though. Next to attack for IRT is Seeb, but is he going fairly slowly here? Is this a cool down lap for Seeb? I think it is. Follow somebody, maybe a different team, because we haven't been spending a lot of time here with QRT. Let's follow Mentos currently. Most of the front runners up into the pits now, with Gelato going 6th on medium tyres, just pipping Donate. I'm calling Pyro after Spyro the Dragon. I think that's why I call it Pyro. Mentos then working the wheel. Seems to have the car hooked up fairly well on these medium tyres. He's quite a bit slower and backs the car in to turn 12. That's not going to help out any whatsoever. So go back to Sieb. I think he's on a slow lap. I don't think this one's going to be anything to write home about. What about Jonah? Jonah's just gone P6. And Pyro on the way in there. So Mentos is going to finish this lap, I think, or possibly come into the pits and see some new tyres on. So the QRT team, as I mentioned, missed the first race and have come in to stand in for a departing team. Cam, though, for Esports Wales, I think, is actually attacking the lap so far. Let's join him in the orange Esports Wales livery. Quarter of a second quicker than he's been before. I'll keep my eye out on the top guys currently. Maybe Cam will join them, who knows, as he goes through fast flowing sector 2 here. Always a battle to try and find the right traction on the way out of the long turn 13. A little bit of oversteer on the way out. How badly is that going to affect his time? Boompier is on a lap, but Cam, I think that was frustration showing from Cam. I'm not sure that the other drivers are going to thank him for finishing his lap that way. Hataru is going quickly. Let's stick with him, and I'll join Boompier to see the end of his lap. But Hataru for Evora looks like he's on his way into a good lap here. He's got a teammate ahead of him, but he hasn't been able to help him down the back straight very much. Hataru, one corner to go. Tiny correction. Had the car underneath him. It's a 32.489. It's a P11. And let's join Boompier as he is finishing the lap. He's 0.3 faster. That's not quite enough to see him improve, but he's going to get a good tow from Pyro here. Very nice indeed. These boys know what they're doing at IRT as for teamwork, or they've got a very good engineer sitting there and watching the track map. Boompier then closing out the lap. Join Nexium very soon, and Boompier up to P3 at 31.087, so a good final sector from Boompier. Nexium is having a pretty good sector 1.5 hundredths faster than he's been before. Where is Pyro in comparison? He is just behind him on track, so I'll keep an eye on Pyro as well. Nexium is going to get a sector time shortly. I think that's that lap ruin though. Yeah, way over the time, but Pyro is 300ths quicker so far in sector 1, and it's all gone wrong for Pyro. We know Boompier is not going to go any faster. What about Pompeo then? Pompeo quicker, not by a lot, but I don't see the lap being finished successfully from Nexium, Pyro or Boompier. It's down to Pompeo to manage to get back that GS Gaming front row that they had earlier in the session. Looking a little bit of overspeed through turn 9 there. How's his lap looking as he crosses the beam? It's a quarter of a second faster than he's been before. He's on the bubble here to get on the front row, on the second row I should say, unless he can absolutely monster this last sector. But there's no GS Gaming car up ahead. There's no car at all up ahead really. There's just one going very slowly. That's Pyro on the way in. The checkered flag has fallen. These are the final laps. Down into the hairpin then for Pompeo. Is he the man most likely to get on the pole? No, because Sieb goes at 30.518. He was nowhere at all, and he's straight up there to P1. What can Pompeo do as the track is in its best possible condition? Pompeo onto P3. That was just about good enough for the front row earlier on, but just not there. Pyro crosses the line as well, but Sieb steals it right at the end, I believe. Unless Glowsticks has got anything to say about this one, he's got an invalidated lap, so it's going to be IRT. 4 of the top 6 cars with Sieb, AJ Wuhan in 4th, Pyro in 5th, and Boompier in 6th. Then GS Gaming in 2nd and 3rd. Very much on the defensive from the IRT boys. Old School is the first of the Esports Wales drivers in P7, with Evora first represented there by Gelato on those medium tyres. We'll see what the final tyre selection actually is when it comes through to the standings. But wow, Sieb absolutely stole that one at the end, and I think Nexium felt he probably had one wheel at least in the pole position. So that's a popular one in the IRT dominated chat, of course, with our Dutch driver Sieb in P1. A 30.518 right at the end of the session. We've got Nexium and Pompeo, a Spanish 2-3 for GS Gaming, 0.2 of a second away from Sieb. Then AJ Wuhan, Pyro and Boompier making 4 IRT cars in the top 6, as I said before. Esports Wales, Irish driver, Old School in 7th. Gelato for Jamaica and Evora there on medium tyres. One to watch out for, the highest medium tyre runner, Gelato, there in 8th. Then Kev, Jonah make out your top 10. Donate, Marlon, Trench, Edu, Mentos, Hataru, Glowsticks, Camrules, and Welsh Mardonaldo make out our 19-car field to take on this 50% race in China. As I say, lots of love for the IRT guys. Lots of early congratulations coming in. Of course, just a quick reminder of the championship, if I may. IRT well out in the front at the moment in this Group 2. Remember, the top 2 guaranteed a place in the final round. The highest scoring third place team from either group will go through to make out a 5-team final. And this is how the points stood at the end of the last race, of course. So if in any doubt, there it is. That's the current situation. But yeah, Resify did say that Sieb would be on pole, and there it was, proven, of course. Good job from him. As I say, nice dry race on the cards for us. Strategy predictions, have you got any? I mean, I'm not asking you to give the team game away, but what's your expected tyre life? That's the latest information you've got on that for us. And how much of an advantage will those medium runners have in the first stint if we manage to get green flag racing all the way through the first stint? What kind of an advantage are we looking at? Formation lap on its way to you very shortly. Reservoir says soft, 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 hard. That's definitely an interesting one. Well, there's the predicted pit stop strategy from Amazon, at least. Yeah, make of that what you will. So, Sieb takes the pole position. Right at the back will be Welsh Maldonado. We are missing a driver for, let me count these up. GS Gaming, are we missing? Or no, we're missing one of the Esports Wales drivers, unfortunately. So, 2 at the back, 1 in P7, and then Evora making up P16 and 17, Glowsticks and Hataru. I do like their livery though, so they get some style points from me. although unfortunately style points do not make for championship points. Mentos in 15th with Edu there for the GS Gaming cars. I think there's a little bit of difference between their liveries, perhaps. Not quite coordinated, maybe. I could be wrong, but looks a little off. A little bit difficult to spot them running fast front and back when you're looking at the Evora cars in comparison. QRT, nice red and white livery, of course. Donati there in P11. So just have a look at those tyres. Reminder that Gelato is the highest medium tyre runner. We've got hards going on Marlon, on Mentos, Hataro and Glowstick. So that's definitely very interesting development. We've got Jonah and Kev together on the 5th row. Soft and medium. They've split their strategy, which is very smart. And then we've got Old School completely on his own from his Esports Wales teammates. They're all way away from him, unfortunately. Then the IRT gang, who I think are going to be ganging up on everybody at the front here. Boom, Yay, Pyro, AJ Wuhan, and then right at the front, of course, Seeb. He'll be a little bit wary of Nexium and Pompeo's ability to play the team game on the way into turn 1 and perhaps the first couple of straights. But let's see what they manage to do here. So soft, medium, medium, soft, hard, medium, soft, hard, soft, hard. Really, I think there's a mix of strategies available today, and we'll have to wait and see which is the fastest on this day in history at the track. Just waiting for the final go from the drivers. Sebon at the front. Nexium and Pompeo. We've got 5 lights on. And it's lights out. And go, go, go with a great start from Nexium. A good start for Pompeo and an awful one for Seeb. AJ Wuhan, the highest IRT driver, as Seeb tries to close the door, but just sees that it's one of his teammates and ends up losing out 4 places now as they barrel down into this snail shell of a first couple of corners. They're going to go side by side, 3, 4, 5 pairs of drivers side by side as they go then down towards the first hairpin, and it's GS Gaming out there in front, followed by then the IRT boys all together, and we've got Boomchi, Kev and Old School just about where they started from the start. Soft tyres definitely order of the day in terms of getting away off the line. Gelato down to 9th with Jonah, Marlon holding onto those hard tyres quite well, but will still be vulnerable, I fancy, for a few laps. And the drivers all playing pretty nicely through the this first lap so far. Pretty awful start from Seeb, unfortunately. Opening the door to Pompeo, who jumps up from 3rd place on the clean side of the track there. And now we're going to see some action as they head down towards the hairpin for the first time at the end of the long straight. Looks like everybody, as I say, continuing to play nicely with Jonah and Old School, Kev getting Old School into the hairpin there. Nicely and cleanly done. I don't think it's done with, as Gelato now fights Old School, who had an issue, and Jonah as well, just behind him. Pompeo with the early fastest lap, of course. Very nicely done. Got a move going on here. Jonah up the inside of Gelato. Will Gelato hold on to it? He will just about. Tiny bit of contact, but it looked quite friendly. It wasn't particularly nasty, and they continue to battle all the way down to the turn 6 hairpin with Jonah on the inside, successfully getting the job done finally, but a big oversteer moment will still leave him vulnerable in the next couple of corners. Nice little move there from Jonah up to P9. Pompeo, Nexium, Wuhan, C, Pyro, Boomye, Kev, Old School, Jonah, Gelato, your top 10 on this lap too. And so far, all the drivers nice and tightly packed together for hopefully a good evening's racing in front of us. 26 laps to go of this Shanghai circuit. So everybody within a second of each other at this point. Glowstick's moving past Mentos further down the order, I see. What's going on with the boys at the front as they're all drafting down towards the hairpin. Nexium, Wuhan making a move. He's forced to the outside by Nexium, and it looks like Nexium is just going to hold on to that one before they will get DRS enabled, I think, as they go over the start-finish line for the third time. It should be enabled momentarily for us. There we go. So, how are we doing? It's a DRS train. We will have first to 7th, and then 7th all the way down, I think, to 14th, all in a line with each other. Frantic stuff at the start of this Chinese Grand Prix for you. I think we've got a timing glitch there with Wuhan. There he is, back into position. Let's have a quick look at how the positions have changed. Pompeo, as I say, with one of the fastest starts. Welsh Maldonado is doing well as well, up there 4 places up. And then it's there's nothing particularly dramatic gone on anywhere else. But the hard tyre runners generally fared worse than the mediums, who have generally fared worse than the softs. So just as you would expect down there in the foot of the field. But there's plenty of racing left to go. I think things are getting spicy a little bit further down the order. But of course, this is where the big points are on offer. So I'll try and focus on these guys as much as possible. DRS, of course, will be enabled about a third of the way down this 1 kilometre straight at the end of the circuit. There you can see, but there's a lot of gap developing. So let's look a bit further down at Old School, under attack from Jonah. There's a nice move. Again, Jonah moving forward and driving very well so far, up to P8 now, Jonah. Nexium with the new fastest lap, as we see Trench battling with Marlon. Possibly Marlon having an issue. They didn't look particularly close to each other. Yeah, Marlon's gone in the pits down there. Presumably some damage, because on hard tyres this is far away from plan A for strategy. Nexium is getting close to challenging Pompeo for the lead here. Will we see a team order be played out for the GS Gaming guys? As Seeb and Pyro also very close to each other. Jonah's got past Kev as well, look. Jonah up to P7, shall we say. There's definitely a problem with the transponder on Wuhan's car. We'll try and remember that one as we progress through the race. Edu pretty close there, down in P11 to the back of the Evora driver Gelato. I expect to see a little bit of action there, but let's have a look at Seeb, who's sliding up the inside of AJ Wuhan. Very cooperative. Seeb feeling like he's got some pace underneath him now. He didn't have off the line, of course. Old School trying to find somewhere to brake, but the Evora driver Gelato not giving him a great deal of braking area to play with there as they get through the hairpin. We'll see action there all day long. I wish if I could make a picture-in-picture for you of the of just the hairpin view through the race. That would be pretty awesome. So lap 5, Pompeo leads from Nexium, GS Gaming 1 and 2, then IRT all together 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, Seeb, Wuhan, Pyro, Boomye, and then we've got the QRT drivers, Jonah, who's had a great drive so far on medium tyres, and the tyres just coming to him more and more through this phase of the race as the high deg at the China circuit starts to take effect on the soft tyres, who are all going to be managing their pace now, but Jonah can probably afford to push a bit more. So Gelato in 8th, Old School in 9th, and Edu in 10th, closely followed by his teammate Donate. Here comes Gelato. It's a little bit close for comfort. You don't really want to make a pass there because you'll get the DRS detection mess you up on the way down the long straight. So perhaps just being patient waiting his moment is Gelato on Kev. Let's be right with him. Nice DRS assistance. Not using a lot of ERS there, I don't think. The overspeed not really taken into account, but comfortably by under that under the DRS usage, as is Edu, I think. Oh, Edu in old school, just navigating some space. Looks like Donate trying to take advantage, further down. And we've got some pit stops from Pompeo, from Pyro, and Kev further down in the order. So it's all shaking out a little bit. Pyro then the first pitter, and seemingly got ahead of Pompeo so far in the pits, but that might work its way. Yeah, it's just shaken out. So Pompeo has pitted on the end of lap 5 for him. It's now lap 6 for the rest of the field. We've got one driver much further back in the track map than anybody else. I think that's Marlon. AJ Wuhan, remember, has got that transponder issue. I think he's still up there with the guys at the front, in fact. Sieb is now just on the cusp of DRS zone on Nexium as they battle this one. And you can see the medium tyre runners now really coming to the fore, as Jonah has closed about a second on the back of the RT drivers within 2 laps. He's doing fantastically here to bring the car forward on those tyres. Yeah, just as Resify says, a timing glitch on Wuhan's car. I'm going to call it a transponder issue, but hopefully things will work out okay in the end. Jonah shaping a little move on the back of Boomye, but no way through just yet. I expect to see more pitters here on this lap. Yeah, in come 2 of them. In come Nexium, and is that Boomye as well? No, it was Wuhan, I think, coming into the pit. So Boomye takes second place. Sieb in first. Jonah now 3rd place on lap 7, and it's been a very nice early stage for him. 7 places up. Some of those have been made by overtaking and not just, of course, by strategy. They've all got to run different compounds, though, of course. They do have free choice of how many pit stops they elect to make. Yeah, you can see proof positive that Jonah is the fastest car at the moment, getting that purple sector in sector 1. Closing now on Boomye, and he really needs to dispatch with Boomye's car, because it's going to be holding up his general race pace unless he can choose to harvest at this stage and cool the tyres and be quicker later. But I don't imagine Boomye is going to be offering much resistance. A little bit of a glitch there. My apologies on the coverage. I think Boomye has got a slight issue with his connection. Jonah is going to be almost overlapping Boomye as before they get to the DRS zone. So here we go. DRS open now on both cars. She's going to make life difficult for Jonah, but he should have better grip in the braking zone. You can see the overlap happening. Just being really careful as he goes around the outside, because he knows that car is glitching quite heavily. But past the pit lane go the 2nd and 3rd place drivers, and it looks like Sieb has gone in. Jonah then has inherited the lead of this race, and Boomye will be trying to stay with him for as long as possible. Sieb is in the pits, and we'll get an idea then of where he comes out relative to Pompeo and Nexium. Of course, that's going to be very interesting to see if if an undercut was actioned by Pompeo and Nexium. I think Nexium has got out ahead of Sieb. What about Pyro even? Will Sieb get out in front of his teammate or not? The sector, the interval looking a little bit strong there for Sieb relative to Nexium. And we've got a yellow flag in sector 1. Car's still moving, so thankfully it looks like we are in the clear. Jonah leads from Boomye, Gelato, Donate, Edu and Trench. Of course, all these drivers at the front of the field have yet to pit. Not quite sure exactly where AJ Wuhan falls in the order. I think he's with Sieb and Pyro, in all honesty. I think that's where he is on the track. But here comes Gelato then on those medium tyres. Boomye really staying out a little bit too long, perhaps on those softs. But trying to make them last as long as possible. Gelato gets by on lap 8. Pompeo has retired from the session. Drama for Pompeo. Where is his car? There it is, bare left. It was the exit of turn 13, and we lose Pompeo for GS Gaming, and that's a big blow for the boys at the front there. We've now got a safety car, and Boumtje will be super happy with that one. In fact, several of the drivers have come into the pits off plan, simply because it's a nice time to make a pit stop. Unfortunately, looks like Jonah, Gelato and Edu could not have that option. Neither, or at least Hataru, elected not to. I think the front three, potentially, drivers were past the pit lane entry already. But there we go. Unfortunately, that's the situation that we have in front of us today. It's safety car on lap 9. Let's see if I can't sort something out for us here. Five pairs of drivers side by side as they go there and down towards the first hairpin. You're not wrong, Reservoir. The transponder problems are very annoying, of course. Let's have another look at the start, shall we? 5 pairs of drivers side by side as they go there and down towards the first hairpin, and it's GS Gaming out there in front, followed by then the IRT boys all together, and we've got Boumtje, Kev and Old School just about where they started. Generally speaking, the start was pretty well navigated by the drivers. Nicely done from everybody. Back under safety car option conditions. Gelato and Hataru stayed out on those tyres. We've got Nexium having made it onto hard tyres, and now sitting in 3rd place, in a good place there with some other drivers around on similar tyres, so he won't be too vulnerable. Then you've got Sibon Hartz, Boumtje, we've got Hyro, AJ Wuhan, seemingly back with us, back in the land of the living at least, the furthest back of the 4 IRT boys. Then Donate in 9th place. Pompeo's exited the session, so we're down to 18 runners, which was the trigger for this safety car, which I think is going to be out of action very soon. Hopefully we'll be back on course. You know, if you enjoyed the replay, if it worked okay for you at the start. I'll try and show a bit of a replay collection at the end of the session, but I don't want to miss any more action. Resify says it's fixed. The timing thing has been fixed. It looks like he's back with us. His actual race time is a bit suspicious, but his track position looks okay. So very odd. Well, Gelato will become the de facto safety car on medium tyres. He'll have a hard tyre shod Hataru right behind him, and we'll get back underway for the second third of this race. There he goes, launching the car. Looks like Nexium will be pretty racy. I hope he's warmed those tyres well, because those hard tyres are going to be difficult, and there you see immediately a little problem with the grip levels. for Nexium. Just needs to bring those tyres into order a little bit gentler than he has been, with Sieb looking racy behind, getting past glow sticks already. Well, almost, but not quite, in fact. Nexium then hounding down the back of Hataru. Really wants to get rid of this moving roadblock that he is at the moment on those different life tyres. So he tucked up well underneath him through the turn 4 and 5 kink, and then down towards the hairpin. I don't think there's a way through here. Will it be a switchback? No, he goes the long way around the outside. What a beautiful move. I love it when people manage that particular style of move. Great stuff from Nexium. Decisive work. And let's see what's going on back there with the IRT boys, who are next to attack Hataru. Riding with Sieb. We've got Boomye behind, with Pyro behind him. Glowsticks moving backwards through the field. He's been mugged by the IRT boys here. Glowsticks down in P7, struggling to get those old hard tyres back up to temperature. But there he is, away very nicely at this stage. The IRT boys on the attack. Here comes Sieb on Hataru, making it happen, I think, before DRS, is he? It's difficult to get a good camera angle. I do apologise, leaving plenty of room on the inside. There you saw the wheel of Hataru trying to stay with him, but it didn't work. And there we go. Successful move by Sieb. Next up to attack Hataru is going to be Boomye, who is right with him and using the draft from his teammate up ahead as they head into turn 1, becoming turn 2. Camera angles on this track are absolutely appalling. I do apologise. Down the inside goes Boomye, and he'll have better grip on the way out. He's on fresh medium tyres. You would think he'd be the lead IRT car at this point. Maybe that will be the strategy option from the drivers. Maybe that's what will happen. But Boomye up to 4th, Hataru down to 5th, Glowsticks now down to 9th, and really struggling on those older hard tyres. But it's Gelato staying out front on the oldest mediums on the track and making them work for himself as Nexium brings those hard tyres up to temperature, and you've got Sieb chasing down behind him. A little bit further down the order, we've got Old School battling for 10th position and also defending the 11th placed Mentos behind, who gets past him. No, he doesn't. They go side by side into a very tricky low grip corner of turn 13. Old School ahead. Kev gets by Glowsticks up in front of them, but I think Old School is going to be a little bit vulnerable here as they head down the long back straight. DRS has not been re-enabled, and a little bit of lane crossing going on there by Mentos, but successfully gets by. And that was a nice clean battle between those boys down there in the small order points in the race. Sieb has got within DRS of the de facto leader, really, Nexium, although of course it depends on further safety car timings. But Gelato is out there a second and a bit beyond Nexium. Up front we've got a yellow flag heading into turn 1 and 2, but I think the drivers are okay. I think they've all survived at least. And Sieb then P3, now really starting to catch Nexium. What about Pyro and Hataru? That might be the next one to keep our eyes on, as Marlon gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. So he's not going to be enjoying that one. Gelato gets a 3-second penalty and has been overtaken by Nexium, so I think must have fallen off the circuit at one point there. He was too far back for it to be a clean overtake, I believe. There's a yellow flag, and there's an eSports Wales driver way off circuit, look, through turn 8. And it's Welsh Mardano who's out of the session. And this could work for Gelato, for Hataru, who passed on the first safety car opportunity. We've got another one on lap 13. Unfortunately, there we go. That's where it is. Gelato, I'm sure, will head into the pits, as will Hataru and probably Glowsticks. But let's see whether the drivers decide to get rid of those tyres that they've just put on. It's a Gelato pits, Hataru pits, Nobody else really heading in at this point. So cheap pit stop, but unfortunately no one else is making that option. Gelato and Hitaru dropping down the order. But they got a decent life out of their tyres. We're half distance now, so the medium option is definitely available to drivers. If they wanted to put mediums on to the end, I think it's achievable to get you to the end of this race as the car gets lighter and the grip increases, at least on the racing line, I should say. 5-second penalty being served there by Marlon. And there's glow sticks in the pits with him as well. So Nexium resuming the lead of the race on lap 14 as the second safety car session is in action for us. IRT have all brought themselves back up to the front of the order, but Donate doing well as well up there in P6. Let's take a quick look at the position change. No major surprises. Mentos is having a great one. It's been a race to forget for Esports Wales so far. It started really badly with one guy not showing up, and two of them are out already. They were already at the foot of the standings at the end of this session, and you might be starting to write them off for qualification to the finals of this championship. I guess it's kind of it's a tournament setup here. The top two teams from both groups will definitely be in the final, and the highest point scoring third placed team from both groups will make up the final position in the finals. So Nexium then on a tyre warming protocol right now. Penalties to serve, just the Gelato with 3 seconds. That's incredible for the quality of the field so far. Obviously we've had a 5-second penalty awarded, but it's been paid off, and honestly that's very, very impressive at this stage. I think we'll have another lap under the safety car, unfortunately. Perhaps we can take a look at one of the earlier overtakes. About tiny bit of contact, but it looked quite friendly. It wasn't particularly nasty, and they continue to battle all the way down to the turn 6 hairpin with Jonah on the inside, successfully getting the job done finally, but a big oversteer moment will still leave him vulnerable in the next couple of corners. Back to live action under the safety car. Nexium is going to be fighting a battle all on his own out there. He needs Donate to start bringing himself into contention with some of these IRT boys. It looks like the timing glitch has really properly worked out now for AJ Wuhan. So we're going to enjoy that. I think we will probably have the safety car coming on in very soon as well. Camerals has gone from the session. There we go. The news we've been waiting for. Let's hope that is the last of the Mainlander we see tonight. And now it's a case of who gets to try and mug Nexium first from the IRT boys. I think Boomyi will be in a strong position on medium tyres. They've done 5 laps. They've done a sort of 2 or 3 lap heat cycle. And you can see the aggressive warming going on for the hard runners. It's definitely going to be a challenge for them to get these cars back under condition. We've got about 13 to go for you. Hopefully those will be 13 laps of action and green flag racing. We're waiting for Nexium to go. If he's smart, he'll do it after the hairpin. I've seen people wait right until the exit of 16 as well. We just want one definite move. There we go, halfway down the straight. Before the short straight before turn 16. That's bought him a little bit of time. Boomyi is struggling out of the final corner, going very wide. Still some tyre warming going on there, I think, from Trench behind this group, or Donate, I think it might have been. But Nexium with a good restart. AJ Wuhan looking behind him at the possibility of Donate making a move. Donate behind him has got Kev as well. they might want to work together. Friend of your, the enemy of your enemy is your friend, perhaps. Donate and Kev might be able to make a move, and around the outside comes Donate in here. How much will be fed out to the outside? No, very fair from AJ Wuhan, who leaves room on the outside. That was a nice move there, put in from Donate, and now 4 IRT drivers together become 3 with a gap. And it looks like Wuhan just struggling a little bit on these tyres early doors out of the second safety car period. Kev, I think, was looking pretty racy behind him, and I think the QRT boys are primed and ready to move up the field. Jonah was showing them the way earlier. Jonah was showing nearly everybody the way earlier on, but Donate's got some great pace right now. Now looking at the back of Pyro as an option. We've got a potential move for the lead. Let's focus on that for a second. No, Sieve cannot make it done. Around the outside comes Donate. Pyro trying to close the door, and Donate has got the inside line onto 16. He pinches the corner slightly, and another successful move, but a good switchback from Pyro as they head down towards turn 1 and 2. Will they manage to survive this one? We've got an offline, a lovely switchback from Pyro, but Donate keeps that inside line for turn 3 as the corners pinch together. Pyro a little bit held up on his ideal traction on the way out. Will they continue to fight this down to the turn 6 hairpin, I wonder? Let's see. No, looks like Pyro, looks like Donate's just about got past Pyro there. Very nicely done from him. So Donate has managed to take 2 of the IRT boys. Has AJ Wuhan actually now fallen off the circuit? I think he has, down in the foot of the field. So Wuhan, I think that's a genuine position issue for him. We've got a yellow flag in, sector 3 where there's no cars. That's interesting. Strange little timing glitch there on the game. Triggered by, I don't know, a marshal or someone throwing some litter towards the final sector maybe. Donate will have Pyro quite far behind him, and fighting with Pyro has cost him all that gap to the car ahead. Pyro will have, I think, DRS at this point. I didn't see the notification, but it's easily missed. It doesn't stick around for very long, that DRS notification. Nexium then, half a second faster, half a second further up the road then than Sieve. There's DRS, there we go. It's the second lap after the safety car, and now things are going to get spicy as the cars are released, the tyres are up to temperature, and everyone is looking to make up positions. Hataru and Marlon are in the pits. Now, 2 cars pitting together after a safety car. Has that been some contact, perhaps? Certainly not on schedule for their tyres. Will they go onto softs? Marlon goes onto softs with 10 laps remaining. That's brave. But Hataru, slightly more conventional strategy, putting a new set of mediums on that should see him comfortably to the end of the race. I think anybody who put mediums on in the last pit stop should be fine. These hard tyres should go as well to the end. Boomye might struggle, as will Mentos. Time will tell, though, as to their driving styles. Jonah and Kev have, I expect, cooperated their way through the field here. So Jonah back up to P7 now. Nice tight battle developing up here in the midfield, I'll call it. Looks like Nexium was just making a little bit of trying to break the toe there. The other car's a little bit too far up behind, and then we've got a DRS train, but we've got Kev and Gelato fighting down into the hairpin. Gelato trying to get past, but he's got a penalty to pay. There's a yellow flag through Sect 3. Another penalty there for Edu this time. Yeah, Resify confirming that the 2 drivers had, 2 drivers at the foot of the field had wing damage. Taro and Marlon, I think it was. So thanks for that, Resify. I don't quite know how you know that as an IRT driver, but are you watching lots of streams at once? Maybe, that would be pretty cool. It's another one on my wish list, is to have set of driver streams all together on a broadcast. That'd be pretty cool. Glow Sticks and Trench then trading places, but I think that's probably quite cordial. Trench is the team manager for Evora, so he should know his way around the strategy book. No doubt. Well, Jonah, P7 behind Mentos, but Edu is close behind him. We've got another yellow flag. Looks like, is that Hataru struggling his way through Sector 1 at the end of Sector 1, start of Sector 2. Still back running though. I wonder if we picked up more than front wing damage and the dreaded rear wing or side pod damage maybe for him. Pyro closing in on Donate, but not close enough. You need to be a bit closer than that, maybe 5/10 at the start of the long straight to be close enough to make a move. But Mentos is currently half a second in front of Jonah. I would expect those positions to be traded fairly soon. Jonah has slightly better tyres for this stage, and in fact, there you go. He's the fastest driver on the track and screams past his teammate and into turn 1. Lap 20 now ticked over, so 8 complete racing laps to run for you. Reservoir just said because of the time they took in the pit. So yeah, good call, good call. I wasn't focusing on them for very long, trying to keep an eye on the rest of the action. But it's great to have people in the chat helping out wherever possible, especially when I don't have a co-commentator tonight. You see Mentos just struggling through the corner a little bit. Seep, has he got a little bit closer to the back of Nexium, or is Nexium just managing the gap? I think 7/10 is a little bit too close for comfort, really. Nexium leads on lap 20 from Seeb and Boomtier. Then Donate has moved past Pyro and AJ Wuhan to get 4th place. AJ Wuhan having an issue, but is now back into 12th place and has unlocked a little bit of pace there very nicely. Edu is overtaking Mentos with the help of a little bit of rear wing DRS action. Nicely down into the hairpin. See another overtake, which we like to see. Jonah now 7/10 behind Pyro. I know it's a bit early to call Jonah on the podium. He has a feeling like he's just got a really good setup, a really good bit of driving going on from Jonah tonight. So he's obviously gunning for that to be the highest QRT driver, at least at this stage. And second in the championship, they need to be outscoring IRT, but so far it's not happened for them in this race. Seeb is now half a second back from Nexium, and I'll keep an eye as they go through Sector 2, because that's where the gap will start to stretch out. It goes out to 6, goes out to 7/10, but what can Seeb do as they approach the DRS detection in the turn 12-13 complex? Closing back up now at the front. Let's go and see if he is going to be able to make a move on Nexium. 7/10 as they start the back straight. It's a long way back, isn't it? I think it needs to be closer to 5/10 if the ERS is relatively equal. Yeah, it's just not there for Steve. So Nexium be quite happy to keep him at that kind of distance. He knows exactly where he needs to be keeping him now then, as Jonah closes very, very tightly on the back of Pyro. Well, let's see what Jonah can do. 1/4 of a second back. He'll give a little blast of DRS, but unfortunately for him, Pyro still has DRS from the back of Donate. So what can he do to either slow Pyro down or maybe get them both? All depends on the ERS situation, as Jonah tries a little bump and run in these slow corners. Probably, I don't think that's likely to be deliberate, just the difference in braking zones and overall grip on these two tyres. We'll watch Jonah as he stays close. Seeb again is within half a second now of the lead. Jonah 4/10, Seeb's gap stretching again. Jonah just needs Pyro to drop back, but how's he going to make that happen? Make him second guess a corner maybe, or just try and put him offline. All these tactics certainly are allowed, as are, you know, helping your teammates through the track and through qualifying as well. Sieb's gap, it was just that tiny bit too much as they started that long straight, go down to the hairpin, and I think they're still too far away from one another. Pyro making a move. Edu behind is getting a little bit leery, trying to break the toe for Mentos. Difficult to watch Edu. I think his connection to my network at least is struggling on that. I'm not going to blame his connection, could be mine, but yeah, I think that's likely. So Pyro just slipping back a little bit, but Sieb is very close up at the lead, at the head of this Grand Prix. I can't believe we're down to 5 complete laps to run in this round 3 of the Crown E-League. Very quick mention for our sponsors. That's Rogue Energy and Kingwin. There's affiliate links for both those brands within the group chat if you want to have a look at that within the Discord. Jonah then 4/10 back from back of Pyro. If he wants to get on this podium, he's going to need to start making a move pretty soon. Pyro is almost outside of DRS, and I think as soon as that happens, I think it will be advantage Jonah, but the laps are ticking down as we wait for that to happen. So Jonah can't get it done here, I don't think, as Sieb closes in, but still can't get quite close enough. Donati now is perhaps the man most likely, as the car in front does not have DRS. Boumtje on those medium tyres is going to struggle to get them to the end relative to these hard runners who are going to be able to push that bit harder. I think Donati getting by Boumtje will open the door for Jonah somewhat, as will the fact that he's now Pyro has now slipped out of DRS depending on the sector. So here comes Donati then. He's not really a way through there unless someone's making mistakes. Up 24 of 28. Great race we've had on our hands here. Really tight field spread as well. Everybody on the lead lap. Had a couple of breaks to see some replays through the safety car, but so far really good bit of driving. I think Donati is actually slowing here relative to Pyro as he tries to get by Boumtje. I think it's going to be now that it happens. Here comes Donati then. DRS can't be defended from Boumtje. He's going to try and get that that little toe from the back, but no, that's it for him. So Donati up to a provisional podium and quick at this stage because Boumtje has got difficult tyres to manage. Will he release his teammate to try and get the best result for IRT possible? He's going to use that DRS as long as he can. Let's go up and look at the lead now as Sieb is very close to the back of Nexium. This has really been a battle tonight between GS Gaming and IRT. At least 2 of the drivers from GS Gaming at least have been part of this battle against the 4 boys of IRT until AJ Wuhan had his issue. We didn't see it on stream, unfortunately, but he's also had transponder issues all race as well, so not a great one. IRT, I'm sure at the moment with the lion's share of the points, although with 3 GS Gaming drivers in the top 10 as well, including at the win. It won't be clear cut which team actually takes the W on this race, but I think IRT will be holding on to the lead of the championship. If that's how things finish up. Looks like Sieb has just slipped back again, or Nexium has just managed his gaps beautifully here in the lead. Not quite sure what we're looking at on track there. There we go. That's Nexium and Sieb. Donate gets Boomji. Donate gets Boomji down into the hairpin. Sorry, he'd already done that. What am I talking about? Boomji was challenging to come back at him. A yellow flag in sector 3. Hopefully won't worry us, but no. Donate wipes out, loses a podium, and it's that treacherous turn 16 exit for Donate. Round he goes. Very, very sad to see. And just as the boss mentioned on stream, that GS Gaming were doing so well. Unfortunately, big damage on the car. Big damage on the car for Donate, slipping down the order. I'm going to call that a Severona curse, perhaps. Saying that Resify top 2 definitely go through, and then the highest scoring 3rd place team across both groups will go through to the finals. We'll see you in the finals in a few weeks' time. But right now we're dealing with race 3 of the championship. Nexium leads Sieb, Boomji and Pyro. It's really turn around for IRT now, but Jonah cannot get past Pyro. And I really think he can get himself on the podium if he can just get Pyro, but it's proving very difficult with the DRS train. Sieb closing in, but not close enough. Pyro super close to his teammate Boomji, and he's going to be getting a bit frustrated now, I think, because he's having to defend from Jonah, and Boomji's pace is keeping him stopped from making a move. Edu is trying to bring GS Gaming's points haul a little bit more respectable if he can. Of course, the tyres will now start to fade for a lot of the drivers in this race with 2 to go, and Jonah tries a sneaky one. Didn't quite work, and it's yeah, things can go wrong very quickly when you do it like that. Well, here comes Jonah then. He's got a good drive. He's not going to be given the inside, or will he? Yes, down into the hairpin at turn 6. Excellent. Sorry, I thought we'd disconnected for a second there. Yeah, Pyro outfoxing Jonah yet again with 2 to go now. Nexium still in the lead for GS Gaming. So Jonah 4/10 back. This is really the very tight battle as we finish this race out. What has Sieb got? Just cannot get close enough to the back of Nexium, and is going to have one more chance as Pyro goes past Boomji. Will Jonah be able to make it 2 past Boomji? No, Boomji just about holds on. I think he's going to be vulnerable now, though, because he hasn't got someone playing nice behind him. He's got a rival, Jonah, for QRT. P5, we've started the final lap with the leader. Whoa, Jonah down the outside of turn 1. Can he make anything out of this one? Can he make it into the inside of turn 2? He's going to be slightly boxed in by the IRT driver ahead. Jonah just about threading this one through the needle, but he's back on the wrong side of the track as they head towards the hairpin. Not given much braking room there from Pyro. Pyro was slightly ahead. Wow, very, very hard fought on this final lap. Let's head up the front then, because I wonder if Sieb will choose this moment to have a go. Nexium with great straight line speed, says the boss. Yeah, it does look that way. Jonah, Boomji and Pyro still fighting over the lower order. Mentos has been bested by Edu, but is trying to retaliate as well. We've got a yellow flag that won't bother the leaders because it's disappearing quickly. Sieb, it's now or never. It's now or never for Sieb. Nexium is weaving. Sieb has got fantastic overspeed. Nexium to the inside. Sieb to the outside. Nexium behind as they approach the hairpin apex. Nexium put out line and out wide. It's going to be a battle through turn 16 for the end of this race. Nexium giving up a warning. Nexium then for the line wins for GS Gaming, and that was super hard fought right at the death. Fantastic stuff from the drivers. Pyro and Jonah coming third and fourth. Jonah just missing out on the final podium position. Boomye in fifth, hanging on. Then Kev and Mentos got gelato at the end. Edu slipping back to ninth with the penalty to make that 10th as AJ Wuhan gets 9th for IRT. I think Edu's penalty is done and dusted now with Old School, the highest esports Wales driver in P11, with then Trench in 12th for Evora. Marlon coming home 13th for QRT. Then Glow Sticks again for Evora. Donate damaging the car, was battling at the tail of that front group. But wow, what a super close battle we saw between the leaders. Janate gets fastest lap at the death. Can Hataru do anything about it? I'm going to say possibly not. That has to be one of the closest finishes that I've ever witnessed in league racing. I wonder if Nexium knew that he had that ability to give away a warning at the final corner, or he just lifted enough. But fantastic race management nonetheless. Mentos gets the drive of the day. I have to say, from my seat, from the stuff that we were watching, I thought perhaps that would be Jonah, but fantastic stuff from Nexium as he punches his way to the podium and lifts the trophy for GS Gaming. And congrats to GS Gaming, congrats to IRT for a strong points haul. IRT will continue and stretch their lead in the top of this Group 2 Championship. Brilliant stuff. Stick around. I would love to hear from the drivers, from anyone in the chat, and I'll take you through some of the replays that we haven't yet seen at the end as by way of some highlights. Well, Nexium wins the race then, a 34.801, his best time, a total race time of 47 minutes, just under 48 minutes. He wins the race from Seeb, very close, look less than a tenth of a second away. Pyro in third, Jonah in fourth, Boomye comes home fifth, making a great set of points for IRT. Then Kev came up the order very nicely towards the end of the race. Mentos with the most places gained and auto driver of the day from Anthony Davison, P7 for Mentos for QRT. Then Gelato, Wuhan, Edu, Old School, Trench, Marlon, Glowsticks, Donati and Hataru finished the race, and unfortunately we lost Welsh Maldonado, Camrals and Pompeo very early on, with another esports Wales driver who failed to take the start of the race. Old School saying, first race for the team, says GG's to everybody. First race for the team, and he tried a soft medium, which was brave from Old School. Seeb was first out there with the congrats though for Nexium, which is great to see. Seeb is a great sportsman, as anybody who has watched his races before will tell you. Let's have a quick look at some of these, some of the replays that we've witnessed tonight. So first up, I've got quite a list here, sorry about this. First up, we've got, I think I'll start. 5 pairs of drivers side by side as they go then down towards the first hairpin, and it's GS Gaming out there in front, followed by then the IRT boys all together, and we've got Boomji, Kev and Old School just about where they started from the best start of all from Pompeo actually. Very nice work from him. about tiny bit of contact, but it looked quite friendly. It wasn't particularly nasty, and they continue to battle all the way down to the turn 6 hairpin with Jonah on the inside, successfully getting the job done finally, but a big oversteer moment will still leave him vulnerable in the next couple of corners. Kilometre straight at the end of the circuit there, you can see, but there's a lot of gap developing, so let's look a bit further down at Old School, being under attack from Jonah. The next Jonah's good overtakes again. Jonah moving forward, to manage those soft tyres and driving very well, and so far up them out to a soft medium strategy. It's difficult work for him. Mark says, second race ever on no OBS, so we'll take that for Esports Wales. Yeah, good one. Good one. I always have extra respect for the drivers who get it done without the assists. I would love to see that. Cars. So congrats. Lap 7 was another move for Jonah this time. But he should have better grip in the braking zone. You can see the overlap happening. Just being really careful as he goes around the outside because he knows that car is glitching quite heavily. Good stuff from... But past the pit lane go really the second and third place driver. Again, kind of thing we like to see. Clean racing. Honestly, I think that's where he is on the track. But here comes Gelato then on those medium tyres. Bouvier really staying out a little bit too long. Perhaps again this time on those. I think this was after on those softs, car, but on the restart, trying to make them last as long as possible. Gelato gets by on lap 8. Driver Gelato. Honestly, I think that's where he's on the track. But here comes Gelato then on those medium tyres. Bouvier really staying out a little bit too long, perhaps on those softs, but trying to make them last as long as possible. Gelato gets by on lap 8. On those different life tyres, Nexium, he tucked up well underneath him through the turn 4 and 5 kink, and then down towards the hairpin. I don't think there's a way through here. Will it be a switchback? No, he goes the long way around the outside. What a beautiful move. I love it when people manage that particular style of move. Great stuff from different teams, definitely. G Sports Wales and GS Gaming and Evora on similar liveries, but they're definitely different drivers. Making it happen, I think, before DRS moving on Hitaru. It's difficult to get a good camera angle. I do apologise, leaving plenty of room on the inside. There you saw the wheel of Hitaru trying to stay with him, but it didn't work. And there we go. Successful move. Into turn 1, lap 12. Becoming turn 2. Camera angles on this track are absolutely appalling. I do apologise. In down the inside goes Bouvier, and he'll have better grip on the way out. He's on fresh medium tyres. You would think he'd be the lead IRT car at this point, maybe. Vulnerable here as they head down the long back straight. DRS has not been re-enabled, and a little bit of lane crossing going on there by Mentos, but successfully gets by. And Welsh Maldonado, nice clean battle between those boys down there in the small order points, getting the job done, and a fastest lap from Sieb as well. friend of your, the enemy of your enemy is your friend, perhaps. Donate and Kevkev might be able to make a move, and around the outside comes Donate in here. How much will be fed out to the outside? No, very fair from AJ Wuhan. Leaves room on the outside. That was a nice move there, following corner put in from Fleet. And 3 as the corners pinch together. Pyro a little bit held up on his ideal traction on the way out. Will they continue to fight this down to the turn 6 hairpin, I wonder? Let's see. No, looks like Pyro. Looks like Donate's just about got past Pyro there very nicely. Is now back into 12th place and has unlocked a little bit of pace there very nicely. Focus of attention, but it's Edu Mentos, is overtaking Edu getting by Mentos with the help of a little bit of Mentos as well. Rear wing DRS action. Nice to see. Nicely down into the hairpin. See another overtake. I think it's going to be now that it happens. It comes Donate then try and get himself on the podium. Can't be defended from Boom. He's going to try and get that. He earned it. He worked hard for it several laps prior, but no, that's it for him. Got the DRS and got the job. So Donate up to a provisional towards the very end of the race. Just a couple of highlights left to run. Let's have a look. To come back at him. A yellow flag in sector 3. Hopefully won't worry us, but no, Donate wipes out, loses a podium. And it's that treacherous turn 16 exit for Donate. Round he goes. Got the fastest lap. Very, very sad to see. And just as the boss mentioned on stream, that. And then finally, the closing as they approach the hairpin apex leaders come through the hairpin side by side, outline taking on each other wide. It's going to be a battle through turn 16 for the end of this race. Nexium giving up a warning. Nexium then for the line wins for GS Gaming, and that was super hard fought right at the death. Fantastic stuff. Nexium, brilliant stuff. Anyway, fantastic race. I hope you've all enjoyed it tonight. And do make sure you set a reminder. You've subscribed to the channel, you've liked the video and shared it on socials, especially that end. It was a really good one. Well, like I say, make sure you've liked us all on socials. If you like the commentary, I'm at WebORed5, and you can find me on Twitter, Discord, and everywhere else. But tune in next week, same time, same place, and we will catch you on the next race day.